When it comes to making money in the delivery business, you have a lot of niches to consider, and actually, hotshot trucking is actually a pretty good one to really think about this year. Okay, and but before I actually explain to you the step by step you need to really take to implement your hotshot trucking business, let me first define for you what is a hotshot trucking, because a lot of entrepreneurs have no idea what the hotshot trucking specifically means. Okay, so when you think about hotshot trucking, you are speaking about a business model that involves moving small, time sensitive deliveries to a single destination. So, not multiple destinations. We are speaking about a single destination, which is really good because, in terms of insurance, in terms of risk management, in terms of safety sort of protocols, that's pretty good when you have a single destination versus a variety of destinations. Okay, so large carriers prioritize high volume, while hotshot trucking companies focus on speed and flexibility. Okay, so typically, hotshot drivers are independent contractors using their own vehicles to transport LTL loads. So LTL, we are speaking about less than truckload loads, okay, like machinery, construction materials, or other freight. So that's really cool because when you think about hotshot trucking, you're thinking about first mile, middle mile, or last mile delivery. So you have a vast array of deliveries, okay? And hotshot trucking companies are used when companies need freight to get to a destination quickly on short notice, okay? Let me give you a very tangible example. Let's say a construction company may hotshot an urgent equipment delivery between job sites when a machine breaks down or there is a surprise material shortage, okay? So hotshot truckers carry smaller loads like cars, equipment, and partial loads that are too small for standard-sized freight haulers, okay? So hotshot drivers find freight on load boards or through brokers is actually a great way to make extra cash as an independent owner-operator. And some of the main benefits of starting a hotshot business include lower startup costs. That's pretty good. You have a high demand. So we're speaking about high demand across the what I call first mile, middle mile, or last mile. And you also have flexibility because you can choose the loads that fit your hours, preferences, and capacity. So that's pretty good. But also your vehicle's capacity too, okay? And hotshot trucking can be as demanding as you can handle while accommodating the freedom that you actually need. So if you want to start a hotshot trucking business this year, the first thing you need to do is to have a CDL. Without CDL, you're not going to be able to do hotshot trucking. So CDL, commercial driver's license, okay? So anytime you plan to haul loads under 10,000 pounds, you can usually get by with a standard driver's license, okay? However, this limits your ability to transport heavier cargo. And if you want to go seriously after certain niches such as construction, for instance, you need to have a CDL because you might be actually required to haul more than 10,000 pounds. So as long as you're not exceeding load restrictions, you can work as a hotshot trucker. But if you want to increase your earnings, look into a CDL, okay? Getting a commercial driver's license opens you up to more jobs and lets you expand into larger trucks. And that's what you want. That's where the money really is at, okay? Especially if you want to scale real fast, okay? So CDLs range from Class A to Class C, depending on vehicle weight and load type. So be sure to check the requirements for getting a CDL in your state before getting started. So that's the very first step. Okay, if you want to be successful at hotshot trucking, get a CDL first. And then also think about your MEC, your medical examiner's certificate. You want to obtain a medical examiner certificate, okay? And as a hotshot truck driver, you may need a Department of Transportation medical card. And the FMCSA actually requires a medical card for truckers operating certain vehicle weights. Okay, so the authorities are really careful about that because once you actually go above certain vehicle weights, you got to have a MEC. Okay, and so if you are going to also carry hazmats, hazardous materials, you also will need to have a medical examiner's certificate. So a DOT medical examiner evaluates commercial truck drivers' physical, mental, and emotional fitness. And if they clear you, you can get started on your trucking business real fast. So this is pretty good. Next, if you want to start a hotshot trucking business and start making money right away, you need to have a business. That's really logical. Don't try to really have a hotshot trucking business by being a solopreneur, by being a sole proprietorship. That limits you and that really puts you also at risk because accidents happen, things happen, and you want to cover your back. Okay, this is an important element. So establish a legit business. I'm speaking about. It doesn't matter. The structure doesn't matter. Like LLC, S corporation, C corporation, LLP, whatever. But as long as you have a business, that's fine. The thing is, even if you are one person, you can actually incorporate. You can be a single member LLC. Okay, so a business type of structure actually covers you, protects you, shields your personal assets. That's what you want. Okay, so now you need to set up and register your company before you can start earning income. So first thing you want to choose a structure. And by the way, what I'm telling you, what I'm about to tell you now, you can have a third-party providers actually giving you that service. So you can outsource the whole operation to a third party such as BZ, formerly known as Inkfile. You can go to, so you have a lot of them. Those are company formation services, okay? So choose a structure that really fits your business model, that fits your geography, fits your states, fits the kind of loads you're going to haul. Whether it is a LLC or S corporation or C corporation, really depends on your ability, okay? And then you want to register your business. So basically, again, all I'm telling you, you can do it yourself or you can actually outsource it to a third party. So you want to register your business at the state level, okay? Pick your business name. Try to choose something memorable, something that it actually fits your hotshot trucking business, but also fits the hotshot trucking industry, let's say in general. I mean, you have a lot of websites that actually can help you find a memorable name. If you need help, let me know in the comment section, and I can certainly direct you to the right resources, okay? And then you want to apply for an employer identification number. So basically, you get your EIN. And EIN is like your company's social security number. And you get the EIN from the IRS, okay? And you can either apply electronically on the IRS's website. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to have an EIN solid, okay? Or you can apply manually. You can apply in the mail. You can actually send, there is a form called SS4. There is a form, so the SS4 you'll fill it out and send it to the IRS. And the IRS will take about 3 to 4 to 6 months. 3 to 4 to 6 weeks to actually reply to you, and they'll give you the same decision that they would have given you if you were to apply electronically. So they'll give you an EIN. So if you want to start a hotshot trucking business, you need to really pay attention to insurance. And insurance actually helps you at many levels. Insurance, first of all, protects you in terms of like if there are accidents or whatever. So you are shielding your personal assets, okay? So that's really good because here we are speaking about the survivability. We're speaking about the survival, if you will, the survival of your hotshot trucking business. You also need to think about insurance in terms of protecting other operators that you might have to interact with, even your employees, okay? And finally, you have to think of insurance also as a way to actually comply with regulations, because when it comes to a hotshot trucking, you have as a slew of regulations, okay? And those regulations are primarily actually activated by the FMCSA under the umbrella of the Department of Transportation, okay? So when I say insurance, there are 4 to 5 types of insurance, but there are 4. They're pretty solid. They're pretty good in helping you. You have primary liability insurance, you have cargo insurance, you have physical damage insurance, and you have NTL insurance. So when I say NTL insurance, that's insurance that covers you when you are using your truck for non-business purposes. And when I say physical damage insurance, as the name implies, you are able to keep your truck and trailer safe from accidents and theft that may affect their condition. And cargo insurance is about the load you are hauling. So basically, you are protecting the goods you transport in case they are damaged, stolen, or lost. And primary liability insurance protects you if you are at fault in an accident. It covers personal and property damage. And again, you might have also, depending on the case, you might have to think about workers' compensation. The next thing you want to do is to get your operating authority, okay? So this is really good. And basically, getting your operating authority involves a lot of paperwork. You could also lease your vehicle to a carrier and operate under their authority. And most companies charge for this service, but it's an easier way to go, okay? Either way, you will need a DOT number to operate your business, your hotshot trucking business. If you want to start a successful hotshot trucking business, you want to purchase the right equipment, okay? And so when I say purchase the right equipment, everything depends on the kind of loads you want to haul, okay? Think about whether buying or leasing makes more sense for your situation. Do you have the funds to purchase your truck and trailer outright? Would you rather lease your equipment? Owning gives you more control, but it means higher upfront expenses. Leasing means lower upfront cost, but there are more restrictions because you don't own the equipment, right? So once you know whether you want to rent or own your equipment, you have to decide also what truck and trailer you are getting. There are a lot of options out there, each one with different load handling capabilities. Usually you want a medium-sized truck, okay? And vehicles larger than pickup trucks will haul decent-sized loads, making them perfect for a hotshot business, okay? So there are actually three medium duty classes classified by GVWR, so the gross vehicle weight rating, okay? So you have class 3, class 4, and class 5. So class 3, you are speaking about a GVWR of 10,000 to 14,000 pounds, and this suits lighter hotshot loads. Class 4, there are more heavier non-commercial trucks. They have a 14,000 to a 16,000 pound GVWR. And then you have class 5. So those are actually classified as light commercial trucks, okay? And here you are speaking about a GVWR from 15,000, 16,000 to 19.5 thousand pounds, 19,500 pounds, okay? That's an important element. And also, you can also use trailers to expand your load carrying capacity. So you have bumper pull trailers. So those are actually cost-effective and easy-to-use trailers, and they are popular with civilian drivers. They suit smaller loads. You have gooseneck trailers. Those can carry heavier loads, and they have a tighter turn radius than bumper pull trailers. You also have tilt deck trailers, and those trailers tilt at an angle for easier heavy cargo loading. You have low boy trailers. A low center of gravity makes low boys ideal for the heaviest loads. And then you have dovetail trailers. And since they sit low to the ground, dovetails suit hauling cars or other equipment with actually wheels. So this is pretty good. The next and final step that you need to really pay attention to is to manage your finances, okay? So if you want to start a hotshot trucking business, you got to pay attention to your finances, your cash inflows and cash outflows. And I'm speaking here about you paying attention to how your business model is structured so you can increase your RPM. Your RPM is actually your rate per mile, your revenue per mile, okay? Your rate per mile can be $1, can be 50 cents, can be 75 cents, depending on a couple of things. Depending on your geography, depending on your shipper, depending also on the type of goods you're hauling. Obviously, if you are doing reefer or you're doing a hazmat, basically your RPM will be more expensive, or will be higher than if you are just hauling regular loads, okay? So this is important. And also you need to understand that trucking isn't all open roads and setting your own hours, okay? Being a hot shot trucker means managing your own finances. So use a reputable bookkeeper or solid accounting software to balance your finances. You can use QuickBooks, Zero, Wave, or other software to actually get things done streamlined. Now, if you have no idea about accounting, if you have no idea about financial management, you can actually outsource that tasks to a dispatcher. Okay, you can have, because there are some organizations that actually provide dispatching services in addition to back office services, including accounting, financial management, tax, bookkeeping, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so if your job is not just it's just about focusing on driving your truck, then you want to really outsource the re- the rest of the work. Okay, so you can also use you have to use accounting software if you want to track every dollar and account for changing fuel costs. Okay, unexpected maintenance and tax planning. In addition to payroll, even if you are solo, you still need to account for payroll. You have to pay. You have to pay yourself too. Okay, and so you can also use a load board to avoid load with unprofitable rates, like those loads with very low RPMs. Okay, those are money losers. Those are losers, and you want to choose reliable brokers with excellent payment records to pay you on time and keep your finances stable. I've actually covered in another video those brokers, how to check a broker's credit score. Okay, you can also consider factoring. So factoring actually can help you manage hotshot trucking finances. Okay. So what happens here is that it's actually common to see pay delays in the trucking industry. And as a carrier, you get paid once customers pay their invoices, and this could take weeks. So you, instead of dealing with cash flow issues, you can use factoring tools to get paid for a hauled load much faster. This keeps your cash flow in good shape so you can pay your expenses and keep your truck on the road. Talking about load boards and finding loads. So, how do you find loads for your hotshot trucking business, and how do you grow your business overall? Let's talk about that in a very holistic way. So the first thing you want to do, I think I've said this before, but you do not want to really go downtown and actually start networking with shippers. No, this takes more time. Okay, you can use load boards. Okay, load boards are pretty good because they are the best way to find quality loads from reliable and qualified sources. Okay, now the only thing is load boards are very competitive. So you got to really see your area. Every area is different. Some areas are more competitive than others when it comes to a hot shot trucking business. Okay, and the question is that how much are you charging for your services? What's your RPM? Because being competitive starts first and foremost with your price, the price you're charging for load hauling. Okay, and so you want to go for a load board such as a truck stop load board, DATS, or others where you get unlimited searches. You will have also the ability to post your truck and even get the instant booking. Okay, because the bottom line is you want to keep moving, you want to keep things moving fast, right? You want to think about your revenue base. So you can also use, so besides load boards, you can also use brokers and shippers, not actually use them. You can network with them, and that takes more time. I mean, networking doesn't happen overnight, okay? But if you network properly with brokers and shippers, that can help you big time in the long run, because load boards are a great way to connect you to loads and establish industry connections that give you consistency, okay? And so work towards a regular freight opportunities by getting the word out there about your work ethic. And brokers and shippers want to connect with carriers who are on time, professional, and reliable. Remember that punctuality, okay, professionalism, and reliability. So make sure to check with the same brokers and shippers about future loads. And if you reach out to them and book more loads that you haul successfully, they are more likely to use you again and again and again. And that's what you want, you know. And also, the last thing I want to say here is that you want to actually build a client base. And so the better you perform, the more you build your reputation, be dependable, be reliable, and communicative. with brokers and shippers. Load boards can help you with this by providing real-time tracking updates for better communication. And when brokers and shippers see that you are transparent and reliable, they want to be your clients, okay? And don't forget that your RPM has to be competitive. Try to offer competitive pricing. Use the load board to actually understand market rates, and you can offer better prices than the competitions without undercutting yourself. This strategy makes you a more desirable carrier while still turning a profit, and shippers and brokers will keep partnering with you once you have proven yourself. So, in conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about how to start a hotshot trucking business. Okay, I explained what hotshot trucking business is all about, how do you start it, how to find loads, and grow your business. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.